Hi, I'm Sabrina Sobhy. I'm from Long Island, New York. I live in Philadelphia at the moment. My highest world ranking is 15, and I'm a new PSA mental health ambassador. I care passionately about mental health and this community that we're in the squash PSA lifestyle and career. It can be very isolating, and given the amount of time that we spend on our own, it's really challenging for our mental health. And if we are a little bit too isolated, it's unforgiving in a way, given our career and the highs and lows that we have. And I wanted to be in this community where I can pass along just a helping hand to others and show that we all belong here and we all are in the same field, regardless of what we're going through and our individuality. We have a very distinct, we all have very distinct personalities, and we take pride in our individuality. And that's a great thing, and it's something that all squash players need to have to survive in this career. But I think we could potentially take it a bit too far. I know I do, in the sense where I isolate myself a lot more than I probably need to or should. And I think a part of the reason why is that I sometimes don't feel like I belong in this career or in this community. And I would hate to have other players feel that way, because there's nothing worse than really feeling like you're on your own. And when you take aside our own personalities and our individuality, we are all the same. We are all competing for the same thing. We are all desiring and ambitious for the same goals. So there's no need for us to feel isolated or on our own, because we endure the same highs and the same lows, the same feelings prior to matches, the same sense of relief after matches. There's nothing that we can't relate to with each other. I think that's kind of what this whole mental health ambassadorship is about, and the foundation. It's taking just one step forward in creating an inclusive space where we can share how we're feeling, get our thoughts kind of out there, and express ourselves in a space that's, we know that people are listening and we know that we are heard, because there's a lot of steps and there are a lot of times where people share things and I don't think that they are heard. And I don't think that people really listen to exactly how players are feeling. Personally, if I hear another person that is going through similar sensations or apprehensions and kind of feeling similarly to how I'm feeling, then that already makes me feel a little bit more included. And just getting the word out and sharing and spreading your own personal, and being a little bit vulnerable. I think that's really important, just to know that we are all human in the end and we're all sharing the same emotions. And that to me is just a step forward, and it opens up a huge gate to possibilities of learning more about each other, learning that people are going through the same things as you. That makes you feel like you belong a little bit more. It's the communication part for me. It really is. It's those unexpected texts from players, from, a couple like billets from previous events or promoters, whoever it is. It is that extra expression from people that make me feel less on my own, more included, more like I belong in this community, that it's not the end of the world after a tough loss, or even, a win that you're not quite happy about with how you played, whatever it is, it's just knowing that like people care about you and they share that expression, whatever it is, in person, via text. I mean, obviously we're all over the world, and we're grateful and lucky to have our phones and social media and easy forms of communication, but it is also like that in-person connection that really adds a big difference. I know in the TOC we had a space in that lounge on the 16th floor that honestly made a huge difference personally in that event for me, because I would just go up there, grab a water, whatever it is, a banana. They had loads of bananas. And then I would see players just sat there. And I would sit down, like, you know, when I really could have just like gone in, gone out, or not even had that space. I think that was the most important part, that we had that space. And then you'd sit and you'd catch up and chat, and you'd forget that you were like competing with each other. And that's huge. And I think each event needs a space like that where we can just sit, you know, enjoy each other's company. You can be on your own if you want, but just knowing that it's there made a huge difference, mentally, physically. And it created connections. It created friendships and bonds. And I think it's easy to stick to the people that you know here and the people you feel comfortable with, and kind of take that as it is, and kind of forget that, I mean, we're all doing this for many, many years, hopefully, and we're going to be with each other for a long time. So I think it's important, at least for me, to try and make a connection with as many people as I can. It's a message that I could share to the younger players or the rising players on tour is to be brave, and to really have that courage to reach out and take a step forward, asking players to hit or to go get a coffee. And I know I'm quite shy, and especially when I'm young, it's so easy to, you know, be on your own, just do your own thing, practice with yourself even, you know. But if I were to be able to tell myself, you know, 5 years ago, I would tell myself to be a little bit braver and have that courage, because in the end we are ultimately the same. We're all just playing the sport because of our love for it, our passion, and we should rely on that connection that we have with each other. I mean, obviously we all can connect and share some sort of passion with each other because we're all in love with this sport. So I think it's important to remember that and recognize that and share that with each other and the younger generation, that, you know, we were them however many years ago, and it's a cycle. There's always going to be a younger generation, and it's important to remember that we were also in that place, and it's just going to get better and better the more we communicate, the more we share our vulnerabilities, the more we acknowledge our insecurities and our struggles. So I think it's just important to keep reminding ourselves that we are only human, and we do all share the same passion for squash.